going on, chat, man? I'm back with my boy, Young Fob, the biggest LeBron fan, as you guys know. But today, he been asking me, this was highly anticipated and highly recommended, the top 10 greatest players from the 1990s, man. And I'm not going to lie. You've been asking, the 90s, bro. Jordan was going crazy. His era was tough. But, who were the tough players, bro? What you think, bro?
We've been reacting, you know what I'm saying, to, that older era of basketball, you know what I'm saying, on our channels. But I don't know, what specific players were really, really good. Maybe I could name a couple.
Okay.
But how were they good? Were they a dunker, a shooter? I couldn't tell you. Just, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to learn and get more educated on it, because that's an era of basketball I didn't get to watch.
It's kind of crazy how you had so much character development, though, bro. Because realistically, when you first got on the channel, you was a big Jordan hater. Now it's like you're open to learning everything, bro. I respect that, bro.
I'm open to learn. I'm still a big fan of, my goat from my guy from that I always watch, you know what I'm saying?
Respect.
But hey, I'll do respect. You know
okay, man. With that being said, let's get straight to the video. And if you guys are new to my channel, you like classic/old NBA content, man, hit the subscribe button, man, and join the crew. But with that being said, let's go.
A decade when the NBA went global and generational legends were born. It was the era where footwork became an art form and dominance became routine. Trash talk was at an all-time high, and the entertainment was even higher. Everyone has a soft spot for the 90s, and for hoop fans, it doesn't get more iconic. But when you rewind the tape on that legendary decade, who really ran the 90s? Who were the true icons of this golden era? And who stood above the rest? These are the greatest players of the 1990s.
Ooh.
Yeah, you gonna learn today, chat.
It's Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq in the 90s
may not have been...
You gotta let it be known, bro. Shaq was good, but this is the 90s. He went crazier in the 2000s, even harder then.
Okay.
I'm telling you. It
was early Shaq then.
Yeah, it's early.
The full-blown unstoppable force of nature we saw with the Lakers, but he was still one of the most dominant players of the decade. When Shaq entered the NBA, it was like watching Wilt Chamberlain reborn, yet somehow even more terrifying. At 7'1", over 300 pounds, and freakishly quick for his size, he was a nightmare matchup from day one. And when he decided to take over, there was no stopping him. The Big Diesel was a brutally efficient scoring machine, leading the league in field goal percentage 4 times in the 90s, while putting up 27 points a game. He wasn't just about getting buckets, though. He was a dominant rebounder, a serious shot blocker, and his sheer presence in the paint forced teams to rethink how they played. The real highlight of Shaq's 90s run, leading the Orlando Magic to their first ever NBA Finals in just his 3rd season. That wasn't just greatness, that was the OG.
Bro, Orlando Magic doing something crazy like that is crazy to us now. Orlando's so trash. They're mediocre. They're not trash.
They get random good players, but they don't win.
Yeah, Pablo Banchero's tough. But hey, he brought them to the chip.
Superman announcing his arrival. Next up at number 9 is Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo was a defensive nightmare. He didn't just block shots. He erased them from the...
What'd you say?
Was this guy calm? This guy was competitive like that?
You don't know ball. Bro, I thought when I first watched this, though, I didn't think he was calm, but just listen.
Resistance. He led the league in blocks 3 times during the decade and finished with the 3rd most blocks in the entire 90s. That man was so immovable, they started calling him Mount Mutombo. Very few players in NBA history have controlled and dominated the game defensively like Dikembe. In a decade packed with offensive juggernauts, he made his mark by stopping them in their tracks. While others were chasing scoring titles, Mutombo built his legacy by making sure they never got close. And by the end of the decade, Dikembe Mutombo had won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards and cemented himself as not just one of the best defenders of the 90s, but one of the best defenders of all time.
Dude, this guy reminds me of our modern day Victor Wembanyama or Giannis, bro. Besides the Duncan, bro. Yeah, how can you not?
No.
Yeah.
That reminds you of more of who's a Hassan Whiteside type vibe, bro. Hassan Whiteside was a primary blocker, bro. Like, more of that. Victor Wembanyama's a good blocker, but Hassan Whiteside was grabbing it, bro.
Was he grabbing it too?
Yes. Look at
And
this.
next up, at the 8th best player from the 90s, is John Stockton. John Stockton was the definition of consistency and control in the 90s. When it came to the pure point guard position, no one, and I mean no one, played it better than 90s Stock. He wasn't just a good floor general. He wasn't just great. He was a god. And his records speak for themselves.
Man, they just called anyone this.
Okay,
now,
I think that was a little bit OD.
What is going on, bro? This is excessive.
No.
I could name probably some better players than this guy in modern day NBA.
Okay, come on.
NBA in
That's
assists 7 straight times in the 90s. He also finished the decade with the most assists and steals by any player. But it wasn't just about the records.
Yeah.
John Stockton was the engine that kept the Jazz running. Night in and night out, he was the definition.
Look how much perfect games he didn't miss, bro.
I mean, hey, that's what a good NBA player does, man.
Hey, see? Okay, then.
Of consistency and reliability. He didn't just rack up stats. He led, he organized, and he delivered. That's why Utah made back-to-back finals appearances with him at the helm. And let's be real, if they had faced anyone other than peak Jordan and the Bulls, Stockton might be sitting on 2 chips right now. Simply put, John Stockton was the best point guard in the 90s, and it's not even close. Now at the 7th spot is Dennis Rodman, the man, the myth, the menace. Off the court, Rodman might have been a certified weirdo, but on the court, he was always locked in. The entire decade was dominated by high flyers and offensive weapons, but Rodman carved out his legacy by doing the things that didn't show up on highlight reels, but absolutely won games.
This is one guy that just generally didn't care about anything but defense, bro. Like, he was a menace, bro.
Really?
I have to react to his highlights eventually.
Rodman led the league in rebounding 7 seasons in a row, second most of all time, only behind Wilt Chamberlain. And he ended the decade with the most rebounds. Second place isn't even close. And he did all this while being just 6'7". He wasn't just a rebounding maestro, he was also one of the best defenders of the 90s. He could guard everyone, and I mean everyone on the court. The man was a winner through and through. Rodman won 5 championships, and in every single championship run, he played a massively crucial role. He was
more rings than LeBron, bro. 5. Yeah, bro.
Edge, the one who did everything the others wouldn't or couldn't, which made him not just one of the best players of the 90s, but also one of the most important. His accolades are stupid over the years and show that he clearly was one of the best. Dennis the Menace chased impact no matter the play or day, and he caught it every single night. Moving into the 6th best hooper from the 90s, Rodman's teammate, Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was the ultimate do-it-all player of the 90s and one of the biggest reasons the Bulls dynasty was even possible. He was a 6'8" forward who could guard all 5 positions, run the offense, and still clamp down the opposing team's best scorer. He was basically years ahead of his time. Positionless before it even became a concept.
Kevin Durant, but not really as good of a shooter as Kevin Durant, though, but better defender. Yeah.
Just a sidekick to MJ. On any other team, Pippen would have been the franchise player. He was that good. In fact, when Jordan left the Bulls to go play baseball, Pippen didn't fold. He carried the Bulls to 55 wins and finished 3rd in MVP voting in 1994. 3rd. When Mike did come back, they continued their run as the most iconic duo in basketball history. Scottie Pippen was the perfect mix of talent, versatility, and unselfishness. When he plays, he made teammates better, and he was the backbone that made the Bulls unbeatable. And on the topic of winning championships, if it weren't for the Bulls, this man would have had at least 3. Charles Barkley. When you're talking
Bro,
I've heard this name
Charles
so
Barkley,
many
bro.
times.
Charles
pound
Barkley
for
is genuinely,
pound
bro,
GOAT,
like unstoppable. Like this guy was on some different type of level, bro. I feel like this one was the most favorite one on the list. You gotta watch this.
Okay.
You gotta watch this.
Chuck is carved right into that Mount Rushmore. No question about it.
Jordan's
Charles
toughest
Barkley played the
competition
power
is this
forward
guy?
position standing at
One of.
just about 6'4", but that didn't stop him from bullying big men.
You would think he's taller than, he's like around 6'7", 6'8", the way he plays, right? He's 6'4". Imagine
6'4"?
Yes.
What? You're lying.
Yes.
He's 6'4"?
Like Russell Westbrook type of height, bro. Yes.
And
He's
twice
wide,
his
that's
size.
for sure.
The round mound rebounded like a center, scored like a guard, and talked trash like it was a second language. In an era stacked with Hall of Fame bigs, Sir Charles stood out as
He
one
looks
of the
tall,
best
though.
despite
Yeah.
his
6'4".
size. But it was in 1993 that Barkley proved he was a problem. He won the MVP award, averaged 25 points, 12 rebounds, and led the Phoenix Suns to a record 62 wins at the time. When the playoffs rolled around, he turned it up even more, carrying the Suns all the way to the finals and going toe-to-toe with Jordan and the Bulls.
He beat the Lakers,
Obviously,
bro.
you know how that panned out.
Yeah.
Even though Chuck never won a championship, he solidified his legacy as one of the toughest, most fearless, and most electrifying players of the entire decade.
Yeah.
Speaking of
What do you think? What's your thoughts on Charles Barkley?
Bro, he's
You think
unstoppable, bro.
unstoppable as
He's
a player?
crazy good.
Dang.
After what
tough
I
and
seen.
fearless player, at number 4, I got Karl Malone. The mailman was a walking embodiment of reliability and dominance. Throughout the 90s, he played nearly every
So
game,
this guy played with
rarely
John
missed
Stockton.
time, and
Yes.
still averaged 27 points and 11 boards and won 2 MVPs in the Jordan era.
Yes.
Malone's game might have not been as flashy or special like other players in the 90s, but what he had was power and precision, and he used it well. Running through the court like a freight train, bullying players in the post, Malone was a beast. And when it came to the playoffs, he was still a beast. The Jazz were contenders for almost the entire decade, mainly because the Milkman kept them in the fight. Even when
Milkman.
facing the
That
Bulls
was his
in
nickname?
back-to-back NBA
Yeah.
Finals, he held his
and all
own
these-
against peak
all these super
Jordan-era
back-to-back.
squads. Even Michael Jordan admitted Malone's
You don't think players nowadays use the backboard?
Not as much as back then.
Okay. Chat, what's your take on that? What you think
It's
about
of
that?
course still used like for layups or maybe certain bank shots, but I don't think as often as you see like a lot of superstars use anymore. You know?
Okay.
Jazz were the toughest team he ever faced in the finals. In terms of stats, the mailman was one of the most productive players in the 90s, finishing the decade with the most points and second most rebounds. That's why Karl Malone was known as the mailman. He always delivered.
Okay.
And a man who delivered even more power was the perfect blend of size, skill, and smarts.
Okay.
The man was a 7-foot athlete with the agility of a guard and the discipline of a Navy officer. Literally. He wasn't just a dominant big man, he was the dominant big man for most of the 90s. The Admiral was excellent at everything. Scoring? Robinson was a machine. He averaged 25 points a game throughout the 90s, dropped the only 70-point
Jordan
of the
era
entire
too?
decade, and finished with the 4th most total points.
That's crazy.
Defense? Straight up nightmare fuel. He once had 12 blocks in a single game.
12 blocks, bro. I feel like the Spurs just has so much crazy talent, bro.
The Spurs has always had some really solid and unique players,
Yeah.
man. Above
By the
just
end of the
shooting or
decade,
something.
he ranked second in total blocks. But what really set him apart was his all-around game. Robinson is one of just 3 players in NBA history to win titles in more than 3 different stat categories. And get this, he's one of only 4 players to ever record a quadruple-double.
Wow.
A 30-point quadruple-double. Bro, you can't even do that in 2K. To top it off, he went ahead to win the MVP
Quadruple-double?
award in '95 and rounded out the decade with a chip. The Admiral was elite on both ends of the floor, a natural leader, and remains one of the most respected players the NBA has ever seen. Now, before I get into the two greatest players from the 90s, we need to talk about some honorable mentions. First up is Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning was one of the most dominant defensive forces of the 90s. He was relentless with his shot blocking and physical play style.
Yeah, I've been telling you, bro.
He averaged around 20 points and 10 rebounds per game.
I've been telling you, bro, he's a good defender, bro. What you think about him, bro?
Alonzo Mourning?
Yes.
We haven't reacted to him, right?
What you think so far, what you're seeing, though? Like, on the defensive
A lot
end?
of the players, like, have high stats in that defensive category, whether it be rebounds, steals, blocks, and they're all in double digits, bro. It's crazy.
What's actually even crazier? It's crazy to think that you genuinely thought at one time frame that, Jordan's era was genuinely weak. It's crazy to me, bro.
I mean, it's a hard era. I think it's definitely comparable still to kind of modern day basketball, because it's definitely hard basketball nowadays.
No, it's not, bro. I gotta show you what modern day NBA is now, bro.
What?
Yes.
Both eras are tough.
Nah.
Maybe
you don't know what you're talking about yet, bro. No. Alright, we gotta go into the video.
And consistently led his teams to the playoffs. Zoe brought toughness, passion, and elite two-way play every single night. Next honorable mention is Gary Payton. GP was a defensive nightmare and the only point guard to win Defensive Player of the Year in the 90s. Nicknamed the Glove for a reason. He locked down the league's best guards while still dropping buckets and running the offense. He led the Seattle Supersonics to one of the best records of the decade and even gave Jordan's Bulls a tough fight in the 96
But this guy's
finals.
not even a top 10?
Elite defense.
Yeah, those are his stats?
He's an honorable mention because he was tough, bro. He was a dog. I don't know too much, but he was a dog.
Defense, trash talk, and all-around impact. That was GP in the 90s. And my last honorable mention is Clyde the Glide. Clyde Drexler was one of the most complete guards of the 90s. A high-flying scorer, elite playmaker, and strong rebounder all in one. He led the Blazers to 2 finals appearances and later helped the Rockets win a championship in '95. Whether it was slashing to the rim or running the break, Drexler brought smooth athleticism and consistent production throughout the decade. He was the closest thing to Michael Jordan at the time. And speaking of MJ, he's the second greatest player from the 1990s.
Second greatest player. Man, Michael Jordan.
Right. The second greatest is Hakeem the Dream. When people look back and say picking you in the draft over Michael Jordan wasn't a mistake, you were something special. If there was such a thing like a perfect center, it would be Hakeem Olajuwon. Offensively, he had one of the...
Fun fact, he was drafted before Jordan.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So he's older than Jordan.
He was one pick before Jordan, bro.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
No.
I thought you were saying time-wise that he was drafted before him.
No.
Smoothest, most unguardable post games the league has ever seen. The Dream Shake alone sent defenders into retirement. Hakeem averaged 24 points and 11 rebounds during the 90s, which helped him finish the decade with the stats.
Bro, I'm telling you, they had defensive dog. They really played defense back in the day, bro. Like, it was really hard.
You don't think the dude's still in the modern NBA?
No one's averaging these much blocks and rebounds, bro. You know it too, bro. Quadruple double? Come on, bro. Wembanyama never did that yet, bro.
Not yet, chat.
6th most points and 3rd most rebounds. Defensively, forget about it. He led the entire decade in blocks and even finished 7th in total steals. Yeah, as a center. But if the stats somehow don't impress you, then the accolades definitely will. Back-to-back championships, back-to-back finals MVPs, an MVP award, All-Star, defensive juggernaut.
Everything.
The Dream was, and always will be, the blueprint for elite two-way players and the king of icy footwork. Now, for the true, undisputed king of the 1990s, the man whose team dominated every single year, he has 2 teammates on this list. Of course, it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Do we really need a segment? It's
No.
MJ. He's the face of basketball, greatness personified, and the
So he
reason
didn't even
half
do
the
research,
league
just
wears the number
picks
20.
This guy because he's always number one.
No, bro, it's quite obvious he is the best. He won 6 championships in that decade alone. Come on now, bro.
I guess you're right.
Come on. We're not going to argue about that right now, man.
3. Everybody else on this list dominated the decade. MJ owned it. Think of the best qualities of every other player on this list, and Jumpman had it. Scoring, 7 scoring titles. Automatic. Defense, Defensive Player of the Year as a shooting guard, one of only 4 ever, plus the most all-defensive first-team nods in the 90s.
Dang!
Dominance, 4 MVPs, 6 rings, undefeated in the finals. Clutch?
Woo!
The 90s might have produced iconic legends and all-time greats, but it also produced the GOAT.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was so legendary at basketball that it would take an entire video just to scratch the surface of why he really is the GOAT.
And that's exactly what I did. Check it out here. Link is in the description. Not gonna lie with you guys, it's a movie.
But for now, let's be real. MJ is the greatest to ever do it. And if you somehow still need convincing, just look at the freaking accolades.
Woo!
Bro, it looks like movie credits, bro.
It looks like movie credits.
But this is something he won.
It's insane how skilled he is, bro. Like, look how much accolades he has. Like, that's way too much.
We can't even read them.
Yeah, you can't.
It's too much to wrap around your head.
That's too much to even keep
He
in
probably
your
doesn't
house.
even know he won most of these.
Yeah, that's how crazy.
That's how crazy.
Yeah, that's
that
how
is.
crazy that is. But you know, chat. This is the end of the
Wow.
video, chat. So let us know down below what you guys think, and bro, what do you think about this video, bro?
Bro, nothing else needs to be said, bro.
This,
Look at
yes,
this, bro.
okay.
It's upsetting. It's
Hey,
not upsetting.
I'm glad
It's
that you
crazy.
actually learned, though, and you actually accept, bro. Like, he went against crazy talent, bro. Like, he genuinely did, bro. These guys are absolute. Like, if he wasn't in the NBA, bro, these guys would probably have way more championships, bro. You gotta really think about it.
He really ended all of these guys winning these championships.
Yes.
I mean, hey, that says something about.
And when he
player,
wasn't
man.
when he wasn't in the NBA, they won the championship.
Because who owned the '90s?
Him.
Exactly. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, but the guy second to him, I think Hakeem won 2 during the 90s.
The Rockets.
When he wasn't there, though. Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, this is the end of the video, chat, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man, and I'll catch y'all next time. Yes, sir.